All right, welcome, guys. Welcome to BeeRE Talks, where we talk about beer, real estate, and finances. Here to fulfill all your needs in that regard. I'm Jonathan,
And I'm Nick.
and we are BeeRE Talks. All right, so today we are trying Zany Zitrus Hazy IPA from BJ's restaurant and brewery. If you've had it, please let us know. If you haven't, also let us know. Also, give us some suggestions on different beers you guys want us to try so that we can incorporate those into what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we can see what's up, see what you guys' tastes are, what if they combine with ours, and we'll let you guys know if we like them or not. All right, so let's go ahead.
Cool. This one's actually I really like this one. I'll buy this six
Yeah.
pack for sure. Yeah. So cheers.
Cheers.
Salvo.
It's all about the pour, guys.
Yeah, I'm a terrible pour.
Let's see who's a better pourer. Oh, I definitely am.
Ah.
All right.
I'm getting messy.
Oh Lord, you
Yeah.
are a terrible pourer. All right. So first, we're gonna go off of aroma. I definitely smell the citrus.
Yeah, very fruity.
It's almost like an orange peel.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you like almost what you want to put in a blue moon.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, like if a Blue Moon married an IPA, it'd be this one.
Definitely, I'll also smell the hops. Hops is actually what you put in the it's like the little grains that you put in beer in order for it to ferment.
Yeah.
It's one of the
Fun fact that I learned recently,
what's up?
actually, that the hops actually help preserve the beer, also.
Yeah, that's how they started it. That's one of
Yeah.
the main reasons why they would use a lot of hops because
So like the IPAs get the very hoppiest to help with
yeah,
the.
because IPAs were originally done for voyages. So people that would go on ships, they would travel months and months at a time. So they would need something to stay
That's
preserved.
yeah. That's staying.
So that's why you have that strong flavor. Is because they would add a bunch of hops in it. Fun fact. More
Yeah.
you know.
But now you can do have fun with it and do the hazy IPAs,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because we're not going on voyages.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Like that's funny. So let's try it. Taste now.
Mm-hmm. Mm, that's good.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, this is a good one.
That's good. Definitely, if you like fruits and hops, this is one to try. I do like this one. Not like the committed one from last
That
time.
was very hoppy.
It just didn't have much flavor either, though.
Yeah, I felt like that really didn't pop. I feel like this pops. Like you taste the fruit. Um, it has a little zingy to it.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely get that.
It
And
doesn't really have much of an aftertaste. Like it sits in your palate and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like it's good.
The IPA kind of sits those hops.
Yeah, it's good. All right, I give it let's say 1 out of 10. What do you give it in aroma?
In aroma, I really like. I thought it was like an 8.
Okay.
It
Uh,
smelled pretty good for me.
I don't want to start that high.
Yeah,
I'll probably give it a 7.
7.
Solid 7. Taste.
Taste for me about 8. I've had amazing. I've had great beers. This is definitely a good one, but it's not like I'm gonna spend a fortune on it.
Okay. And then I'd give it another 7.
Yeah.
It was solid. It was good. I'd have another one.
Yeah, it's good, right?
Yeah, I'd have another one. Let's say, all right. So, texture. How do you feel about it? Like texture wise, body. How's it feel?
Um, body wise, I feel like it's not heavy. It's
Okay.
pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Like body wise,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like heavy like a Guinness or something.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
not like
It's not as full as that.
yeah.
But it's a good full though. It's not like it's
I'd say
definitely not a
medium.
light beer.
Yeah, it's not a lager for sure.
Yeah. So I'd say yeah. I'd give it another. I'd go triple sevens on this one.
Yeah, yeah. I think for body probably about a 6.
Okay. So you did eight,
8.
6, And what was
Eight,
taste?
8, 8, and 6.
8, 8, and 6. So we're around. You're at 22. I'm at 21. So
Yeah, it was good.
cheers.
Cheers, yeah.
Cheers
Just
to
finished this
Zany
one.
Zitrus.
Shout out BJ's. They're putting out every once in a while. They put out something
Yeah.
that's worth buying.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool. So what do we have next on the agenda?
Hold on, hold
Okay, I'm at Johnny's house right now.
All right, guys, we're back, and we're here to talk about
Where the real estate market's at.
All right. We still get this question a lot. What's going to happen with the real estate market? Is it crashing? Is it going up? Is it flattening out?
Yeah.
What's going on? Are you have the pulse on the real estate market, right, Nick?
I would like to think that I kind of am in tune with what's happening, at least what's happening in our local market. I can't speak nationally, but I feel like right now, like, uh, real estate is really slowing down for us. And I mean that meaning there's not as many people buying. That's what I mean when I slow down. Home prices are still going up, and people who can afford it are still buying. But I think the squeeze in the inventory and the little amount of listings that we still have is still driving up prices, right? You still have where we had maybe 100 buyers going after one house, it may be like 50 now, right?
Right.
So there's still competition, but it's not as much as what we were seeing like a year from today, right? So I think home prices will still continue to rise through the end of the year.
Not as fast as before, right?
Well, actually, interest rates this year are going to shoot up, but home prices are not going to go up as much, right? A lot of people are predicting, like economists and different reports that I read, that home prices are probably going to go up another 5% this year. Whereas in the last couple years, home prices were going up 17, 18% in some areas, like on year to date, like year to year. Like that's crazy. Ooh, that's the beer coming up. So I think you're gonna see things slow down, but I don't think anyone that's in the industry is not expecting a crash. We don't see indicators of that we saw like way before in 2008, 2009. We don't see those same types of indicators. The people who are borrowing to purchase homes are very well qualified. Like lending practices are much stricter now than they were um, back in 2008, 2009 when we had the real estate crash. So I think the people who are buying have good credit, they have income, they have the cash, right? And I think it's not as many people, but people are still trying to buy homes, right?
So it's not crashing.
No.
Not anytime soon.
Honestly, I would say we're probably 18 to 24 months away.
If it does.
But I'm not obviously like
Obviously, these are our opinions.
Exactly. These are our opinions
based off of what we see, based off of
and
doing what we do.
Obviously, I would recommend do your own research, go and see for yourself what's on there. There's a ton of reports. There's a lot of stuff there. But based on my opinion, what I've been seeing, and LA is unique because we just have a lot of money rolling in with tech, with the music industry, Hollywood, just all kinds of stuff happening, right?
There's still a lot of people with money.
Yeah, and I think the people who are leaving LA are the people who couldn't afford it no more. Let's just be real. The people who are leaving Los Angeles just couldn't afford it no more. But in exchange, we're getting people who can afford these prices.
Yeah.
right? You're still getting an influx, even though it's a negative influx. We're still getting people moving to LA.
Yeah, I think I was telling somebody today. They were asking me about where the market is, what's going to
Yeah,
happen, and I was telling them. I mean, honestly, this pandemic, it it put a lot of people out of jobs. Mostly people on the lower side of the income range.
right.
You know what
Like
I mean? There's a lot
the
of
service.
retail,
Yeah,
a lot of service industry, restaurants, people that didn't tend to make a lot of money as it was.
right.
Um, but it also put in a lot of money in the market. So a lot of people got stimulus checks. A lot of people got extra money for this or that.
Yeah,
So a lot of people were actually able to buy that previously weren't able to buy just because they got stimulus checks or they got extra money coming
yeah.
in.
There's really two types of people that got affected by the market. Either you lost a lot and you lost your job, or you lost your business and things went down, or it was the complete opposite and everything just took off for you.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's some people who are like, I made more money now than I've ever made ever, right? And there's other people who are like who are struggling.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I made more money in 2021 than I had any previous year, just
Yeah.
because like all the stimulus checks, unemployment for my wife and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it was just like, you know, was,
And I'll tell you what, um, this administration, this government, right now is
hold on. We're getting into
no,
politics.
no, no.
All right.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, they're not gonna stop printing money.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So the
And
best thing you
I
can
think that's a
do,
good thing.
yeah, the best thing you can do right now is buy real estate.
Yeah. I mean
Because
that, that
as an asset,
yeah,
with inflation, it only inflates
that's
assets.
that's your best hedge against inflation.
Yeah, 100%. Because I mean, look at what happened in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
We're at 8.5% inflation right now, and home prices are still climbing.
Yeah. Because it does two things. It protects you from inflation because the value of your house is still going to go up, and you're gonna not lose all your money into rent.
Right.
So I mean, it's just one of those things you have to take into account.
Right. And if
Those
and
things.
if you were, when you bought a house, you got that fixed rate for 30 years, everyone's rent's going up, but your mortgage is still what it was
Yep.
10 years ago,
Yeah.
right? Like you
Or
got
2, 3 years ago.
yeah, right? And
Yeah.
and even back then, like, I mean, rents were what, $400 or $500 cheaper a
Because
couple years ago.
because remember, not home prices aren't just the only thing going up. Rent
Yeah.
prices are also continuing to climb and continue to
100%.
go up,
Everything is
especially
going
here
up.
in LA County.
Yeah, everything is going up.
So yeah, I mean, make sure you guys. This is what I tell people. This is my rule of thumb. As soon as you're able to buy and ready to buy, make sure you buy because that's going to be your best bet. I mean, if you can't handle the mortgage payment and you can't make the
Yeah.
down payment,
I
I don't necessarily recommend you buying.
Yeah, I think that that's key. Like, if you can afford it, do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't go out of that range. Or if you really can't afford it right now, like you're gonna take on a financial responsibility that it's not wise. But if you're in a position where you have the down payment, you can afford the monthly payment or the down, and you can afford the monthly. I mean, it's wise to do it right now. I mean, historically speaking, if you're gonna be in that house for a minimum of 10 years, I would say just do it.
I would even say 5 years.
I mean, yeah,
But
I mean,
the longer the better.
for sure. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen in 5 years? I mean,
Yeah.
but in 5 years, I mean, you could be buying your home as an NFT on the internet instead of, a deed of trust.
Honestly, I just watched the video. Ryan Pineda, he just did the first NFT. He's working on the first NFT house. So I
It's
mean,
crazy,
it's
yeah.
coming. It's coming. So
I mean, there's gonna be a time when you want to buy a house, you're gonna have to buy your house in Bitcoin. Like,
yeah. Or I mean, you're gonna do it in the metaverse.
I mean, you can't literally physically live in the metaverse.
Yeah, but I mean,
Look,
there's going to be a lot of people in the metaverse.
For sure.
There's going to be a lot of people
For sure.
doing a lot of different
Well,
things.
I think they're gonna tie a physical asset to a digital asset.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, and I mean that's the only way I can see it really working. Because
For sure.
I mean, to a lot of us, it's still like way in the future.
Oh yeah.
But the internet was way in the future for a lot of people before 2000, right?
100%.
Before Y2K, all that business,
Yeah.
the internet was way in the future. Oh, no one's gonna buy anything online.
Yeah.
Oh, no one's gonna do anything
Yeah.
online.
And now
it's
look.
just, and then, yeah, I
I
mean,
do my groceries online.
we can't live without the internet now.
Yeah.
We can't live without our
It's crazy.
phones. We can't live without all these things. I mean, we're on social media 24/7. We're on YouTube 24/7. We're on all these things, and now the next thing is, you know, virtual reality or whatever. I don't know how it's all going to work out, but
Well,
I do think.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Like, if everything just collapsed, you still own a house. Like, that house is still yours, right? Like, I tell people,
Yes.
like, it. You know, the time that we're living in right now is so crazy chaotic. Like, if ever, just imagine the worst possible case scenario. Like, if everything just collapsed, you know, like, you would still have your house.
Yeah.
Like, barricaded up, you got some guns, like,
Yeah.
but you still have something that you own, right?
Yeah.
And I think that people need to realize that in real estate, like, you're literally buying land in the United States.
Yeah. Like, even if we're taken over by China, they'll give us some leeway if you own your house. If you don't know Jack.
I mean, seriously, like, I just thinking the, like, what is an investment?
That's worst case scenario, guys.
Right, but I'm thinking, like, what is the worst case scenario, and then how would you be able to survive? Like, and it always leads me back to real estate.
Yeah.
Like, everybody needs shelter, a place to live. That's like the number one asset. Whatever your opinion is about homes and things like that, I mean, yes, the stock market makes money, but if everything came tumbling down, like, you wouldn't be caring about companies. You'd be caring about, where am I going to stay?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, food, shelter, water, right?
Exactly.
That's what you're gonna be looking at for the most part.
And so, honestly, real estate is always a wise decision. If you can afford it, get into it. Buy real estate, hold it. There's a famous saying, right? It's, don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait.
Yeah. And I mean, so the next question is, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's on everyone's mind. How do we buy a house?
It's a great question. So all the lenders out there and everyone will tell you, the process is really simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
Right. Typically, we go over three things, and I always go over these when we have a buyer's consultation. The number one thing that we look at, well, first on the list, they're all equally important.
I hope you guys are writing this down.
Yeah.
All right. Write it down.
No, the first thing that we go over is income, verified income through taxes, W-2s, pay stubs. We verify all your income, right?
Well, what if I'm self-employed?
So 1099s. If you own a business, we can help you with your business taxes to help you qualify for a house as well.
What if I haven't paid too much in taxes?
We have programs available for people who are self-employed. That if you've been making all of those deductions and you only show 20,000 in income for the year, but you're actually making 120,000, like, we got you covered.
I know that's a lot of you.
Yeah. So we got you covered. There's programs available out there for self-employed business owners. There's ways to structure your financial profile.
So how much income do I need?
How much income do you need to qualify?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on a few different scenarios.
But in general. Let's say the most common way people buy a house, how much income do they need?
So in LA, I would say comfortably, you probably need around 90 to 120,000 in gross income for the household, husband, wife, or if you're going to qualify with multiple people, say 90 to 120,000 dollars gross.
Which honestly is like, so you have to make sure that you cover at least 50%. Your gross income is at least double what your mortgage payment would be, right?
Right. So, like, let's say that comes out to about $10,000 a month in income, right? Your max mortgage that you would qualify for, if you had zero debts, would be roughly around $5,000. But if you add on a car payment, if you add on any kind of debts, credit cards, student debt, student loan debts, like, that brings it down. So roughly speaking, you want to give yourself enough wiggle room, and you want your mortgage to not be around 50%. You should try to aim for around 30% of your gross household income. Yeah. So if you're making $10,000 a month household income, your mortgage should be more or less around like $3,000 to $3,500.
Yeah. which is kind of what we're looking at in this market for the most part.
I mean, yeah, it depends where you're looking at, but it's totally doable.
Yeah.
Obviously, the more bedrooms you're adding, the bigger square footage, the payment's gonna go up, the price is gonna go up. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. But the second thing that we look at is gonna be your credit. The main thing in your credit that we look at, there's a couple things, is your credit score, making sure you're at that threshold to qualify. The better your credit score, the better interest rate you're going to qualify for. But the biggest thing is your debt to income ratio, right? So how much you're making versus how much are you paying out in installment loans,
Yeah.
right? So credit cards, minimum payments, things like that. That's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that you can qualify, including your debt for your monthly payment. And then the last thing that we look at is all your assets. And some people get confused with this part because they say, how do I come up with a down payment when I'm buying my house, right? The way you come up with your down payment could be in many different forms. If you have money in crypto, if you have money in like a Robinhood account, Coinbase, if you have money in a 401k, different types of investment accounts you can actually cash out to use to help you buy a house.
And how much time do you have to wait before when you liquidate it?
I mean, you should try to liquidate it probably within um, after you've been qualified and you've identified like that you want to move forward. I would liquidate right away as soon as you get qualified. If you're not qualified, hold off on it because you may not even qualify for the range that you're looking for, right? So get qualified, find out how much you actually need to liquidate. If you can get away with liquidating part of it and then keeping the rest in there for retirement, that's another option too.
Yeah. Okay. So you can actually use a 401k for a down payment.
Yeah, 401k, IRAs, Roth IRAs,
457s.
Yeah. There's many different forms that you can pull that down payment from. There are down payment assistance programs, but the interest rates are a little high on those right now.
Yeah.
But there's always a solution. Everyone's situation is a little bit different, right? So we wanted to try to bring the best product that situates the client to help them find the best way to move forward with their purchase. But everyone's situation is unique. So if you're kind of like, I'm not too sure, but you got some money, you got some credit, you got some decent income, I mean, you may qualify for a lot more than what you think you do. Yeah. And I would do it sooner rather than later because interest rates are not going to come down anytime soon.
And honestly, you don't even know what you're eligible for until you go through the process and get with a lender, get with a good real estate agent that can really walk you through the process and let you know, hey, this is what you can do, this is not what you can do. You know what I mean? Like you may have thought like, oh, I'm gonna buy a house 5 years in the future, and then you realize, oh shit, I can actually get a condo or I can get a townhouse.
And that brings up another good point. I was just talking to one of my clients earlier today, and he was stuck in between like I really really want a house, but it kind of exceeds his budget, but he really liked this townhouse or condo, and it was within his budget. And I tell this to a lot of my clients is don't be afraid to start small. Don't be afraid to just start somewhere. Start in a condo. Start in a townhouse. Um, there's a lot of benefits. There's also a lot of cons to buying a condo townhouse, but it's a good place to start. The most important thing is to start, build equity, save money, and then what you do is as you're doing that, you can either sell and move that equity up into a bigger house, bigger townhouse, a single family, or you refinance, drop your payment, and now you're renting out that unit.
Yeah.
Right? And then you use that income to qualify you for the next purchase.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why it's so important is like just get started. Yeah. Get in the game, start small, and the more comfortable you get with covering maintenance costs, repair costs, getting comfortable paying your mortgage, as soon as you get comfortable with those things you can start to expand now. Yeah. So yeah, I always tell people don't be afraid to start small. It's not going to be your forever home.
Right. And I mean, we covered a lot of this in our first episode, and we went through the pros and cons of buying a house or a condo or a townhouse. Yeah. So make sure you guys catch that. Go back, the last episode and just
for sure,
look at that. Also, we went over a lot of the good things about buying a house and
and honestly, comment any of your guys' real estate questions. We would love to, or even email us any of your real estate questions. We would love to address them. Um, real estate is massive, so there can be a lot of confusion and
Yeah, I
things.
mean,
So
all what we're saying is the more general stuff. There's always stuff that's going to pertain to your situation and your things. That's why we always say get with a good real estate agent. If it's
yeah,
obviously if it's us, that's great for us. If it's not us, make sure that they're good, qualify them, make sure that they know what they're doing, make sure they're on the market, make sure
yeah,
they're doing things and not just sitting on their butt and doing it as a side gig. Make sure that they're out there. The next thing is make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers.
Shout out
As
Graham Stevens. Smash that like button.
smash it, smash it, smash it.
That's funny.
Please make sure you guys like and subscribe this. Help us out, support us. We're doing this to get information out to you guys, to everyone that we can.
Yeah.
So please just support us. Uh, like it, subscribe it, share it. Get all your friends, everyone,
and
anyone
cool.
that you may think that wants to buy a house or anything, get them to watch this and maybe get them connected with a real estate agent, preferably us. But if it's someone else, that's cool too. I mean, we're just here to help you guys out with whatever questions you guys got and everything that.
And hey, maybe you guys can just crack open a beer with us and talk some real estate.
Yeah, man, I'm down. I'm always down to crack a beer and talk real estate for sure.
Yeah, and it's funny. I actually, since we can touch on it, one of the reasons that we wanted to start doing this is like, I don't know if you guys have ever gone out, had a drink with a buddy, and you guys start, you have a couple beers, and your conversations just become amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Like
some of the best ideas I've had is when I had a few beers.
Yeah, so like you just start like, and we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
And there's a bonus topic for the new release of Doctor Strange coming up. So we wanted to throw in a little bit of some Marvel and see where all of our Marvel fans are.
So caveat, we're both really big Marvel fans.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like a huge nerd because I don't know like all of the stuff. But I'm the type of person that watches like an episode or a movie, and I'm on YouTube like getting all the Easter eggs.
Breaking it down.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a pretty big fan. I mean, I've never really read a lot of the comics, but definitely I got into it back in the '90s when I was a kid watching X-Men. The animated series, dude.
X-Men animated, the old Spider-Mans.
Dude, yeah. Me and my brother were all into it.
Yeah.
X-Men animated series. You got Spider-Man, Batman, the animated series. DC hasn't done so good so far, but definitely.
Yeah.
Marvel.
Actually, you know what's funny? I feel like DC does way better with its villains. Like I saw I saw both the Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad, the newest one. It's super good, bro. Like
the newest one.
Yeah, the newest one.
With James Gunn.
Yeah. And like, I mean, they have hints of like drama, a little bit of emotions. Like they have all kinds of stuff in there, and you're just like, man, this is a great movie. And I feel like they did a much better job with the villains than they did the heroes.
Yeah. Okay. Who was your favorite DC villain? I haven't seen Suicide Squad either or.
My favorite DC villain. I mean, hands down, it has to be the Joker.
Okay.
I just love.
Which one? I haven't seen the new Batman either, but I've been so bad about DC.
Honestly, I don't care what anybody says. Heath Ledger is the best Joker. Yeah. Actually, I think just the best portrayal of like so far of what the Joker. But then there's Joaquin Phoenix. Like,
I still think Heath Ledger did a much better job.
Yeah. I honestly like Heath Ledger played true to like. Yeah. I feel like the comic book character.
Yeah.
And
at the same time, make it his own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like made it so unique.
Joaquin Phoenix, I think he did a good job for what that script needed.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it. It was cool.
Yeah, I just liked how like the Batman and Joker and like all of those just are so multifaceted. Like they're so psychological. And
what about Thanos?
Like Thanos?
What about Thanos? I mean, because you're telling me DC had better villains, but
Oh, are we? Or if we're gonna talk about Marvel villains, let me see.
I mean,
I
Thanos was
mean,
good.
Thanos was great,
I
but
mean,
I think
the whole setup was good.
yeah,
I think Thanos was good just because of the
yeah.
setup and because
I'm actually like hell of excited for King the Conqueror
okay.
because
Jonathan Majors doing a great job.
yeah, and I
Yes.
feel like with He Who Remains and King the Conqueror, like if they do that right, he will go down as the greatest villain in just like comic
Yeah.
book
I mean,
cinema
there's just
history.
so many now though. Like they can go Doctor Doom, they can go Galactus, they can
Yeah,
go.
but I
I
just
mean,
think
I'm not saying
yeah, yeah.
Kang the Conqueror's not going to be good, but like they have so many options now, and it's getting so big.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they can do this well, and King the Conqueror is going to be the villain throughout all of those, and that's the crazy part is like he can be the villain in all
Yeah, he
those.
can come in and out for
Yeah,
sure.
in all of
And,
those.
and then like the crazy thing is now they've set it up so where he can get beat, they win, but then he can still come back
Yeah, so it's like honestly, like if
as
Marvel
another variant,
right
obviously.
of a variant right, but if Marvel does this right, I mean we're in the middle of like the golden age
Yeah,
of like of cinematic like comic books. Like we've
yeah,
taken all those people who grew up with comics and the cartoons and all that. Like now we're in the cinema and like those are the guys working on the movies. So
yeah.
like they can get so into like Spider Man No Way Home. Like I probably cried that whole movie.
Did you?
Bro, I cried that whole movie.
I
I don't.
wasn't. I'll be honest. I wasn't a huge fan of it the first time I watched it. I thought it was
Oh man,
like too much fan service in my opinion.
I geeked out so
Like
hard.
it was cool. I liked it. The
Yeah,
first go, I watched it with my daughter, and I was like, all right, this is cool, but it was a lot of fan service for me. It was like, all right, Toby Maguire, they all Andrew Garfield, they had to run. Um,
yeah,
I was like,
but
whatever. But what I did realize is Sony basically got a clean slate now.
oh
So
yeah,
now that they have the opportunity to go away from the MCU, away from Disney, and kind of do
yeah.
their own thing, that's kind of what I got from it.
But I'll tell you one thing about Sony: they will find the way to mess it
Yeah,
up. They will find a way to just mess it up.
and that's why I guess that's probably why I was disappointed because I was like,
Yeah,
oh man, so
yeah.
they're taking
Like
Spider Man away from the MCU.
I haven't even seen Morbius, and I already know it's gonna be crappy. Like, let's be real.
We're not talking about it probably because it wasn't very good.
Yeah, and I
I
haven't even seen it, so
I
that
haven't
speaks
seen it either.
volumes. And I've already bought my Doctor Strange tickets,
Yeah.
so I'm like super hyped.
Have you seen Moon Knight?
Oh, episode 5 of Moon Knight,
Yeah.
like was epic.
You liked it?
It was epic. Yeah,
I mean, I love the backstory. I thought 4 was still better than 5. But
four was great because when he gets into the asylum, spoiler alert, when he
oh
gets
yeah,
into
yeah.
the
And
asylum,
spoiler alerts: if you haven't watched Moon Knight, fifth
yeah.
episode, fourth episode, any of it,
Oh
step
my god!
away.
So when he get into the asylum, I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah,
I lost my
at the
mind.
end of
Like
4, it was just like, what the?
I was questioning, like, what
Life.
did? Yeah, I was just questioning, like, all of the other episodes, like,
Hold on.
but then
Yeah.
5, it just, I think this is what makes the MCU so amazing is like they take their characters and then they deal with real life issues.
Yeah.
Right? Something that people can relate
And,
to.
and they do their research. They don't just throw it in there and
exactly.
say, "Oh, this is what it is," but they're actually kind of like
Yeah,
trying at least.
I really loved like seeing how Oscar Isaac dealt with healing past trauma.
Yeah,
And
dude,
how
that was another level for me. Like I was just like, damn,
yeah,
dude.
I was like,
His
oh man.
mom's a B, dude. I was just like,
I mean,
she's jacked for that.
but it just goes to show you. I mean, that should have been a villain origin story,
Yeah.
not a hero origin story.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
I just that's what makes the MCU so great. Like in
Yeah.
my opinion, like seeing that and then how he created Stephen Grant based off his memories and like
And that put the whole movie thing in perspective. Like,
right,
because we got that little clip of that movie or whatever.
right,
It was
right.
just like, okay, he
Right.
created this guy.
Right. And but I love the fact that he said like, I created you so you can live the life that I
You could be
couldn't.
happy.
Yeah. I
Totally.
was like, oh, that
Right,
hit,
right.
that hit home. Yeah, that
So
hit home. Yeah.
is there a third personality?
Well, I mean, I don't know. So like the MC, this is the first time I'm getting introduced to Moon Knight. I didn't follow Moon Knight in like comics or anything.
Neither, but they've hinted at it,
I,
right?
I've read
Have
some
you? But
articles
did you
and
watch
like,
the hints in the movie? Right? Because
no, is there hints?
yeah, in the either third or fourth episode where he's fighting in Egypt,
Yeah.
like there's a scene where it cuts out and it comes back, and then he's like, "Did you do that? No, did you do that?" And neither of them did it. Like
Interesting.
when he comes back and he's fighting the guys, and like he kills a few of them, and then he's gonna kill the last one, and then they're both like kind of discussing
honestly,
like, okay, what happened?
Yeah, Moon Knight is kind of gonna be like Loki for me.
And then the next thing, well, let me go back to it.
Yeah.
The other hint was the third coffin, or the second coffin, right? He got what's his name out of the first coffin, Stevie Grant out of the first coffin, and then there was a small scene where he sees another coffin that's shaking and someone's trying to get out of it, but they kind of ignore it and keep going.
Oh, interesting.
So if you go back and see that, you'll notice it, and now you'll pay attention.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch them all.
So there in the comics, from what I've seen, is there is a third character, Jake Lockley.
Yeah.
That's
I have been reading
probably him. But I mean, there was hints at it, so but we haven't got introduced to him, so we don't know.
Right. But honestly, I think Moon Knight is gonna be like Loki was for me. Like I rewatched Loki like 5 times.
Really?
Yeah, I just loved it.
Okay.
And
I like Loki.
Yeah, because I mean, when you really think about Loki, he's falling in love with himself.
Yes.
No, but think about that. Like he can't.
He loves himself so much. He's such a narcissist that.
No, but he doesn't love himself in the beginning.
Okay.
So it's a journey of him becoming like accepting who he is and loving himself.
Right.
But they portray it through a variant. Like I don't know. When you watch Loki, it's so interesting. Like, and yes, he does like end up falling like in love with himself, but at the end of the day, Loki still deceives himself, right? But
he still gets screwed over.
Yeah, but I think Moon Knight is just so there's so much depth, like to the
Oscar Isaac's
series.
doing a great job.
Amazing.
Oscar Isaac is doing it.
Like I've seen memes on social media that are like, they're saying like, oh, both actors in Moon Knight should get an Oscar, and then they realize it's only one actor.
Right. Yeah.
That just speaks volume on who he is, like as an actor and what he's doing with the show. I think, man, Moon Knight has just been amazing. Yeah. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
So what's gonna happen in the Multiverse of Madness? Did you watch What If?
I did. What If was awesome.
So I think everyone needs to go watch What If you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Go watch What If before you see Multiverse of Madness.
Now I will say this: get over yourself. It's animated. Who cares?
Oh, I love animated.
It's still part of the MCU, and I think you guys still need to watch What If.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I mean, the little twist at the end of What If, and the way they built the team, like all those things, like it's awesome, right?
Yeah.
So I do think like
it's gonna tie in. I think
actually today I rewatched the episode with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Because I'm prepping myself to go and see the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm like wanting to get back into the vibe of like Doctor Strange. I'm gonna rewatch WandaVision. Just kind of get back into.
I should probably rewatch WandaVision too.
WandaVision was amazing.
It was good.
Yeah.
I think that's my daughter's favorite. My daughter's 8 years old.
But
I've already got her into the MCU universe.
Funny.
She's like, she doesn't know how to say Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
But she's into it. She's like, are we gonna go see the Multitude of Madness or something like that? And she's
funny.
like,
my kids love the. Actually, there's a new animated series, Spidey and His Amazing Friends on Disney Plus. My kids love that, and it's so cool because it takes all the characters and then they're just kids.
Yeah.
So it's just like super cool.
We've seen a few of those.
My kids love that, and it's a nice little introduction to get them like.
My daughter's a little older than that.
Oh yeah.
And the other ones have watched it. They liked it. But yeah, I'm excited for Multiverse of Madness.
Me too. Like,
I think they're gonna give us a lot of fan service, but at the same time, they're gonna give us enough to
I
really
saw the
enjoy
runtime
it.
and I was a little disappointed already.
Yeah, it's 2 hours.
Yeah,
It's not 3 hours.
I thought it was gonna be the 3 hours, and that got me super excited.
I
Coming,
think I think they don't want to set a precedent. They don't want to keep it at 3 hours unless it really
yeah.
needs it.
Well, I'm expecting like Zack Snyder Justice League type movie.
Jack Snyder's.
Like that 4 hour Justice League was amazing. I loved it. I liked
I'm
how they
losing.
spent their time on each character
I'm
and
losing
like
more confidence in your opinion about comic books.
what?
Because it wasn't that good. I mean,
It was okay.
It was.
I liked it.
I mean, they did in 4 hours what the MCU took 10, 20 movies to do.
Yeah.
So I
It's
think
kind of
that
like squeezed and
yeah,
rushed
they
for
could have done
sure.
they could have done a lot more with Apocalypse.
For
They could have
sure.
done a lot more with each character. I just thought like Superman came in and just killed everyone real quick and real easy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't.
Did you see Batman versus Superman?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really
It
like one.
was. I don't remember it,
Yeah,
so that tells you how good it was.
it was okay. I didn't really like Ben Affleck. It was Ben Affleck,
I
right?
didn't mind him so much. I just thought the movie in general wasn't that good. But let's go back to the MCU because I just have too many negative things about to say about DC, and I don't want to go there.
That's funny.
I'm excited for Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna give us a lot of fan
Yeah.
service. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with variants. They've already officially said Illuminati, so we
Yeah.
are gonna be seeing the
It's gonna be
Illuminati.
so cool.
They've teased a few things, and the crazy thing is, I feel like they've given us so much in the trailers already that I'm like, oh shit, are they gonna like? That's probably gonna be the first 10 minutes of the movie, and then
Oh
they're
yeah,
gonna give
yeah,
us so much more,
yeah.
and it's
Well, you already know MCU is gonna like they're gonna just lie in their trailers.
yeah, I don't know.
They're
I
gonna
mean,
cut things out and manipulate
yeah, I
it, and you
guess
know.
they might be leading us astray on all this stuff because
I mean, how
they're
far did they lead people away from No Way Home?
true, true,
I
true.
mean, before you saw No Way Home, you had no idea what was gonna happen.
I mean, all of us knew that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire was going to be in it.
No, people had guesses, very strong guesses, but there was no confirmation, right? They
I mean, we knew it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen.
I mean, they had to, right? They kind of had to, and yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. But
I still think it's going to be great. I'm excited. We'll talk about it next week on what
after
happens. We'll give you guys some spoilers.
Oh yeah.
We'll do a spoiler before we talk about it, so you guys can go and watch it before you guys see this part of the next one.
There's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait.
I'm super excited, dude. I'm such a nerd when it comes to MCU. My wife says I probably watch it too much. But she's into it too, so I'm gonna go see it with her and either her or my brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, my wife and I are gonna go watch it. Like we geek out, yeah. And she loved WandaVision.
So we'll geek out with you guys. Make sure you guys go out and watch it because we're gonna talk about it and y'all gonna like it.
Yeah.
Like again, please like and subscribe. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about. If the geeking out is too much for you guys, we'll keep it separate so you guys don't have to watch all of it. But let us know. Give us in the comments. Write down your questions. Let us know what you guys actually want us to talk about when it comes to either real estate or finances or beers or Marvel. Yeah, definitely give us suggestions on the beer. We're always open to try new things, try different beers.
Like we're just starting this podcast out, and we just kind of started with whatever was lying around, and so
and I mean
we're just going.
Yeah, and help us get to 100 subscribers, guys. Like if you guys are watching, please subscribe. Please help us out.
You guys won't be disappointed. You guys are gonna get some education on real estate and some dab in Marvel and some financial talk. Like it's definitely going to be good content,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, eventually we'll talk about cryptos. We'll talk about we'll try to hit on
oh
everything.
yeah, for sure.
We'll educate ourselves if we need to on whatever new is happening. Crypto is the rage now.
For
NFTs,
sure.
stuff like that. We'll try to
I
take.
still think that like all of that's gonna just drop, and like there's gonna be a handful of good stable coins. So put your money
Oh
in
yeah,
stable
yeah, yeah, yeah.
coins. Don't put your money in altcoins.
No, yeah, yeah. Don't think you're gonna make it
So
rich. Like
yeah,
that has to be your mentality when it comes
for
to
sure.
anything in the stock market, anything in crypto. Just come with the perspective or come with the idea that you're not gonna get rich and you're probably gonna lose it, and you may get rich.
Better to get rich slow than get rich never.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Better to get rich slow than get
Get rich
rich
never.
never.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to get rich quick, but most of those people that try to get rich quick are gonna end up broke.
Yeah.
And
There's
then
consequences, man. There's consequences.
yeah, no, I hear it, dude. Like
High
honestly,
risk, high reward, but when it hits the risk, what do you do?
let's do it. All right, guys. So let us know what you guys want us to talk about. Let us know what we can work on. Let us know what beers you guys want us to try. Let us know
Yeah.
all that. And please like and subscribe. All right. Peace.
Have a good one.